But bad advice. That's what this episode is about. This episode is about bad marketing advice. Just today, I was looking at hot topics in SEO, and I came across this viral SEO video. I searched SEO tips, and I came across this video, and it had like 39,000 likes. I didn't look at the views. I'm sure they were high. If you have a digital marketing video with 39,000 likes, it's gonna have a good amount of views. And the advice was so bad. Oh my God, it was so bad. So it was this person, and she's like, I'm gonna tell you how to find really easy keywords to rank for. And if you are good at digital marketing or good at SEO, you are gonna hear this and be like, no. So this is what she said. Okay, it would be dishonest of me if I didn't preface this video was from, I think, maybe the beginning of Q2 last year. Now, this advice still isn't good then, but now it's like especially bad. But even then it wasn't good advice. So her advice was find a subreddit that represents your niche. Take that subreddit, put it into your SEO tool of choice. Each subreddit is a subfolder, and see what keywords that subreddit is ranking for. And those are easy keywords to go after. That was her advice. Even last year, that wasn't good advice. Especially now, that's terrible advice, as literally Reddit has been prioritized so much in Google search engine results pages. It is either the third most popular or fifth most popular, I don't remember, it's very high, site within Google search. That is how popular Reddit is. So now that is horrible advice, but even in Q2 of last year, that was very, very bad advice. Top of funnel searches, so top of funnel SEO, I talk about this all the time, is do top of funnel SEO. That is bad advice. And that's been bad advice for a long time. And it was especially became bad advice after the release of ChatGPT. And this was just a few months after, actually, this was beginning of Q2 last year. So this is a few months after the release of ChatGPT. And you could immediately tell all the top of funnel searches, what is, who is, how, all the things that people want to know about, where they're not looking for solutions to a problem. They have a question, they want things answered, they want things explained. You could immediately see that was going to go to ChatGPT and other chatbots like Gemini or Perplexity or whatever it is. You could immediately see that. Top of funnel SEO has worked for a long time, and it's the SEO that a lot of people are taught because it's where a lot of the traffic is, but it's not the converting traffic, and it takes a lot more time to nurture. The customer acquisition cost for people who enter the funnel coming off a top of funnel search versus somebody coming off a bottom of funnel search, obviously the customer acquisition cost is going to be way higher. You're going to have to nurture these people more. Whereas bottom of funnel SEO, these are people searching for a problem, and bottom of funnel SEO gives them your product as the solution. So my whole landing page for compact keywords, compactkeywords.com, I've been getting amazing reviews for the product that I have released so far. It's about 70% complete. And someone said it's like he's 16 years old and he just got a PS2. I've been getting the craziest, most positive reviews, which is great because I've been working on the product since April. And that whole landing page, compactkeywords.com, it's not supposed to be a sales page. It's more of a page explaining bottom of funnel SEO and bottom of funnel keywords. So if you want to learn about bottom of funnel SEO, you can go to compactkeywords.com and just read that page. And it is all about why bottom of funnel SEO is the best SEO and trying to rank for the keywords that Reddit is ranking for. Those are mostly top of funnel searches. And now they are even more competitive and harder to rank for than they were because Reddit and Quora is getting so much of the traffic. User-generated content is getting so many clicks from Google. It's being heavily prioritized in Google search. Next piece of bad advice. I got this because somebody that I follow who gives really amazing Instagram advice. I don't want to say his name. I don't want to call this person out specifically. I really don't like calling specific people out or throwing shade or publicly insulting people. I don't think it's a good practice. But it's this one person that I follow, and he gave a bad Instagram tip. And he's like, if you want to find viral topics to make social media posts about, or posts on any platform, whatever it is, if you want to find viral topics for your content, do this. And this is actually how I found that really bad SEO tip that I just described to you. And he said, go to TikTok. When I heard this, I thought it was a great idea. He said, go to TikTok and put in your niche and then the word tips. Put in niche and then the word tips. And then filter it for most liked and within the last 3 months. And I'm like, okay, makes sense. Your niche tips, most liked within the last 3 months. And what you get is you get people who have viral videos across lots of different industries and niches who are abusing the tips hashtag. Whatever, I had searched SEO tips, and then I got some SEO tips, some legit SEO tips that were bad, just like the one that I described to you. I literally got it from this. And then I got other pieces of SEO advice. I may have gotten one good hook from it, but I haven't tried it yet. But I also don't like the hook because it's a bit too like, I'm going to tell you what to do. And I don't like coming off as that. I don't want to come off as a guru, even though I guess I am. I think I'm like someone who is very good at what he does. But if you want to do things different, you're welcome to do that. So I don't want to be like someone who's gonna say, do it my way or the highway. And that's what this one video that I saw, what this other video that I saw was about. And then it's a lot of people who are just making generic digital marketing videos who are also putting on the hashtag SEO tips. And so this piece of advice, not a good piece of advice. It was bad advice. Bad advice, that's what it was. It was just useless. But when I saw it, I'm like, that seems like a great idea. In fact, I had planned to make a podcast literally about this idea with a bunch of other ideas strung onto it. And now I'm not going to do that because it's bad advice, and I don't want to give bad advice on this podcast. Another piece of bad advice, schema markup. I've talked about this before. I'm going to talk about it again. I have seen so many SEO people on TikTok and Instagram and wherever saying, schema markup is going to be the hottest trend for 2024 or 2025 or whatever. It's like the biggest deal. No. Even back in, it was before 2020. I think it was 2017. It must have been, it was 2017 or 2018 when schema would matter a lot more back then. Schema mattered more when algorithms weren't just smart. When Google search algorithms were not as smart. That is when schema mattered a lot more. Schema matters also if you are just custom building a site or a web app. Sure, schema matters a lot. But if you are using a plug and play website builder, schema matters a lot less. If you are custom building something, yeah, fine, then you can care about schema. But most people who are doing SEO, they are using frameworks, or they are using page builders or site builders, or plug and play solutions. I told my mom, I had my mom get a Squarespace site, and I described it to my mom before she got it. And I said, Mom, it's as intuitive and easy as playing Super Mario Brothers. That's what it's like. Because when I was a boy, my mom would tell me it was time to stop playing video games, and she would take it. And sometimes I was going to sleep, but I couldn't fall asleep, and I would come downstairs and I would see my mom was playing Super Mario Brothers. So she understood. I knew she understood it. But that's what these page builders are like. Some of them are so intuitive and so easy, and they take care of all that stuff for you. And even if you don't use schema, a lot of search engines, the most popular search engines, they can tell anyway. And they very rarely rely on schema. Schema matters for some things, for having stars show up for different products, but that is a lot less likely to get somebody to click than a compelling page title or using the person's search term properly, using the person's keyword properly. So schema is another piece of bad advice. Again, unless you are custom coding something, or maybe you have a lot of different product lines. Aside from that, I think schema is bad advice. There's so many better things to focus on. Page speed. Is page speed something better to focus on? Yes and no. And I made a podcast about this a while ago, but it is such a hotly contested thing in SEO and digital marketing. Page speed is really important. Site speed, app speed, speed for your product is, if you have a digital product, very important. Again, if you have a website, very important. But people measure page speed all wrong. People rely on Google PageSpeed Insights, which is not very good at actually telling you how fast your site is. I have seen very high ranking websites that loaded fast for me, loaded fast for other people I knew, and had very bad PageSpeed Insights scores. Similarly, I have seen sites that are not ranking that load slow for me that have very good page speed scores. And I haven't just seen this once or twice. I've seen this more times than I can count. I showed one of my websites that was ranking really well to a friend. And his immediate thought was just to look at the PageSpeed Insights because he's a digital marketer. He wanted to see, and he's like, oh, you got to fix your PageSpeed Insights. And I'm like, you don't get it. This score doesn't matter. What matters is the subjective experience of different searchers in different locations landing on the site or the page. And so many people rely on Google PageSpeed Insights, which does not give an accurate reflection of that. The best way to do that is to find out it's to look at your own experience and the experience of others around you or friends that you have in different locations. There might be better ways to do that, but Google PageSpeed Insights certainly is not that. And then if it's bad, you could try to use Google PageSpeed Insights to debug it. I usually use Google Chrome developer tools, but I really rarely, if ever, use Google PageSpeed Insights as a benchmark for whether or not a website is going to perform well. That is a piece of bad advice. So common too. You will hear that from so many quote unquote SEO specialists. Oh my gosh. A lot of SEO specialists, and I talked about this already, but they recommend top of funnel content, Google PageSpeed Insights, schema. You got to focus on schema markup. Bad advice. And it makes me so sad. People are getting such bad advice out there. So what's the purpose of this episode? Is this just me complaining about fake gurus online? No, I mean, kind of. Okay, what it is you got to test things. Smart people like me are going to tell you stuff. But at the end of the day, you want to test these things for yourself because I hear things from people that I respect on the internet. And sometimes these are great things. And then I respect that person a lot more. And other times what they say is baloney. And I'm like, they shouldn't have said that. So one example, actually, I think if you have an online brand, just not lying is so important. Lots of people get away with it. I don't like it. There was me, and I don't think I told this story on the podcast, but this was a few months ago. And I put out a video for something that I thought was true. And then 20 minutes later, I was walking around and I had a different opposing thought. And it was actually very late. It was like midnight. And this was my only video of the day. And I had an opposing thought. And then I did a little bit of research, like 5 minutes of research, and I disproved the video that I had just put out. And now it was like 12:30 a.m. and I needed to go to sleep. But you know what I did? And this is crazy. Most people would not have cared. But I have a daily streak. I think I just hit 700 days posting in a row on TikTok and Instagram Reels. I took down that video because it was bad advice. It was bad advice. I took down that video. And at 12:30 a.m., I made a new one. And I went to sleep at either 1 or 1:15 a.m. But I just couldn't sleep with myself knowing that I put out bad advice. I think it's so important to give the best stuff that you can and honestly cut out the things that are going to make you not look good, because people will do the things that you say. People will test these things. I'm really more talking to myself. Maybe not you, but definitely I'm talking to myself. People will test these things. And when it doesn't work once, people will forgive you. Will forgive you. If it's me, whoever, people will forgive if it doesn't work once. If it doesn't work twice, people might forgive, but a bunch of people will drop off. They'll stop following or paying attention or be like, I don't really like this person. And then if it doesn't work 3 or 4 times, you're kind of done. You've lost so much respect. People aren't going to trust you. They're not going to buy from you, whatever it is. And I really don't like giving bad advice. And I see it all the time from lots of different people. And it also just makes people focus on the wrong things. And then they teach these things to other people. So these are some of the most common pieces of bad advice that I see in digital marketing. And if you've heard these from other people, like I said, try everything for yourself. That's like one of the main tenets, I think, of any industry, of anything. Just try things for yourself, especially in digital marketing. But if you don't have that much time to try these things for yourself and you heard these things from other people, I would recommend against doing them because they are bad advice. And that is all for episode 456 of The Edward Show. I'm getting over a cold, getting over a sore throat. I'm drinking coffee, even though you're not supposed to drink coffee when you have a cold, but it's 6:50 p.m. and I do this podcast every single day and I need this little pick-me-up, and it is a good pick-me-up. I'm not going to lie. It's a great pick-me-up, and I'm feeling nice. I had a lot of fun recording this episode, so I hope you have fun listening. Thank you so much. I got this smooth, cold voice going on where I'm just talking real low. Thank you so much for watching if you're watching on YouTube. If you are listening on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for tuning in. And I will talk to you again tomorrow. Bye now.